Hey guys, welcome to the July Q&A for my channel. So my monthly Q&A. July is kind of a crazy month for me. A lot of stuff coming up, so I had to do it a bit early this month. But I'm excited to talk to you guys, especially for July weekend. Hopefully, you guys will be a bit free right before the holiday. So I did start like 4 minutes earlier. That way people could start coming in. Now, of course, how these work, you just ask questions in the chat, and it'll be around like an hour or so-ish for as long as we get questions, and that is how we do it. So I think there's actually some questions already. We got Charles Shriko says, hey, Uno. Hey, Charles. Actually got a couple different new commenters, so just saying their names. Charles is one of them. I am Awake Iffy. Awake Iffy is another new commenter, and I'll get to all the. Okay, I'm gonna get to all the questions right now. So let's see. Kenneth says, Kat, what was the first Spider-Man or Amazing Spider-Man comic did you read? Mine was Spider-Man issue 1 from 1990. I think it was like, I don't remember the actual issue, but I think it was like Spectacular Spider-Man something. It had like the hologram image, like one of the small hologram type images they had. That was the first one I read. And I, obviously continued reading Spider-Man from there. I think I got it, after I watched the movie because I loved Spider-Man. So I wanted to read as much as possible. I remember that being one of the first ones. Good question, and just in time for the movie coming out this Thursday. All right, Kenneth says, recently I just ordered some Spider-Man trade paperbacks and the first Amazing Spider-Man omnibus, but want to read more Spider-Man stories. Any recommendations besides Renew Your Vows? I always recommend Spider-Girl. That's always my recommendation. A recent one that I liked was Spider Island. I think that's a good story. Yeah, so I'd always go Spider-Girl, Spider Island. Yeah, so those are two I recommend. And then you can always go classic, like Kraven the Last Hunt. I don't know if you want more modern or classic stuff, but Kraven the Last Hunt is obviously a good one too. All right, let's see. We got I am Awake Iffy. I am Awake Iffy. Do you think the question will ever show up in the Arrowverse? Maybe. I think anything's possible. I think the question fits Arrow, the television show. I could see like a detective showing up and it ends up being the question. Alex Dunn says, what is your view on viewing comics online without paying? And what do you think about the incredible factors like the poor? Alex, I think you're the same person. We had a long conversation on Facebook about it, but I'll shortly talk about it. I mean, I don't agree with it. I think that is stealing from the artist or the writer. It just takes away from the writer and artist and the community in general. And like I stated to Alex, I believe it's the same person. For people that have lower incomes, I think libraries are a good factor, and there are chances to get free comics, or even cheaper comics. You might not be able to get them right away, but you could, get $5 comics, like trades. If you go to the comic book store, they have bins where there's cheaper comics. And then libraries, like I said, is a good example of getting, free comics and being able to read comics, but without going to the View websites, which I don't agree with, because that does steal from the comic book industry in general. So I personally do not agree with the websites. All right, moving on to Kenneth, who says, my third question and last one for now, with Wonder Woman being a huge film out recently, will this push DC and even Marvel Studios to do more female-centric films? I mean, I hope so. It looks like in their gutters, we have some coming up. We have Batgirl for DC. I mean, DC technically did Suicide Squad, which was a female lead. And Marvel, we have Captain Marvel. I mean, I hope so. I hope it shows that they could do more. But those are the ones we're getting so far. I don't know if we're going to get an immediate return with Wonder Woman, because obviously it takes a while to make movies and plan movies. But hopefully in the next 5 years, we'll really get to see the effects of Wonder Woman. All right, next is Alex Dunn. Aren't they already doing female-centric films with Captain Marvel? Well, that's one. I mean, how many male-centric films have we had? And it was like, oh yeah, Captain Marvel, and that's it, I would like to see better female representation through Marvel movies. Alan says, okay, Kat, we're going to have to discuss your recent video. I'm guessing the Disney Channel one. We have some disagreements with that. Alex Dunn says, when am I starting? I did start. So, yeah, I would refresh the tab because I am on, and I see I'm on. Let me make sure I have sound. Yeah, I do. I have sound there. Alex says, what's my plan for 4th of July? Spending time with friends and barbecue. You know, that's pretty much my plans. What's everyone else's plans for 4th of July? And just taking a break, you know. I definitely gonna try not to do any work and just take a break for 4th of July and celebrate the holiday. I'm refreshing now to get the comments. JLS, I still want a Black Widow spy thriller movie. I'm not a huge Black Widow fan, so I don't personally need it, but I mean, I think she is a character that at least deserves a movie. She's been in a lot of Marvel movies. Why didn't she get her own? All right. Helen says yes, but this is not the time and place for that. I'll get my arguments ready to be continued. Well, Alan, where is the time and place? All right. Charles says, if you could pick a character to make a movie of, who and why? I want Booster Gold because overcoming his ego is the best storyline. Plus, we would get Blue Beetle possibly. Not a big Booster Gold or Blue Beetle fan. I'm really excited for Barbara Gordon. So, I mean, she's already getting one. So that's exciting. And, I mean, I would love to see Spider-Girl, of course. That's a character. Spider-Gwen, I would really like to see. I think that'd be a cool movie if we got one. Flash the Shape Chapter says, hi, Kat. How's life? College still sucks. So I'm guessing college still sucks for you. Life is pretty good. No complaints, right? Gotta try looking at the positives. All right, Kenneth says, Kat, I noticed there is a new Spider-Man book coming out this week called Spider-Man Master Plan. Ordered a copy. Wonder what that book is about. Honestly, I think that's going to just be a throwaway book. It's the same writer as Spidey, so I have a feeling it's going to be in that vein. It's going to be just a kid-friendly Spider-Man book because the Spider-Man movie's coming out and they wanted extra, so I actually won't be getting it. I think it's just going to be a throwaway, like I said. Alex Dunn, what is your opinion on Black Lightning and the name? Also, do you prefer Static Shock? I mean, I prefer Static Shock because I watched the show and I grew up with his character, and I don't really know much about Black Lightning, but I am excited for the show the more and more I hear about it. So hopefully I'll learn more about the character as I watch the show. Alan says, LOL, good question. Media Madness on Disney Channel shows of the past. Oh, man, we have so many Media Madnesses, Alan. Hopefully one day we'll get to that. Although, yeah, we'll see. Hopefully one day we'll get to that. All right, so guys, keep coming with the questions. I'm just going to load the video. Yeah, so I'm going to let the chat go. Oh, I think I saw a comment. Yeah. Kenneth says, I did like the Spidey book. Thought it was a nice throwback to classic Spider-Man stories. I did too. It's just like, I wish there was more of a serialized story, and that's why I dropped it personally. William DeMarco, second Spider-Gwen. And he also asks, do you watch The 100? I actually watched like half of season 1 on Netflix a couple of years ago. I would say like 2 years ago. Like whenever the season ended, season 1 ended, that summer I watched it. And I couldn't get into it. I know a lot of people like it, but I don't think it's my type of show. Flash the Shapeshifter Raleigh SuperCon is coming up, so I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be my second con. Awesome. Where is that convention? Alex Dunn, are you excited for Homecoming? Of course I'm excited. Got my tickets. I'll be seeing it Thursday, and I'll have a review for it on Thursday. I'm excited. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, so of course I'm stoked. Hopefully there's some nice surprises in the movie. So keep coming with the questions, guys. Yeah, I have a lot coming up this week. I'll be at Comic-Con this week, which is going to be Garden State Comic Fest. It's in New Jersey, Morristown, New Jersey. So looking forward to that. I'll be selling like Father Like Daughters issues 1 through 3. I hope like Father Like Daughters issue 4 is coming out this week. They're finishing stuff up. 2 Kickstarter backers. That's why always support the Kickstarter first because you will be the first one to get the comic. Working on some other stuff writing wise. Got some big plans for that. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming up, which I'm excited for. That's one event that I'll be doing this weekend. And then next week I have a lot of Media Madnesses. I think we have like 3 planned. So that's gonna be busy. All right, moving on to Kenneth's question. Kat, with DC Comics' new streaming service coming out soon, what live action show do you hope to get made for the service? Well, I'm getting Titans, so I mean that's the one I want. So they already answered mine. I would love to see a Bat Family show. That's not gonna happen, but you know, that'd be cool. Alex Dunn, this is going to sound stupid. Like, what does con mean? Like Comic-Con, VidCon? Yeah, con is just a convention. It's a Comic-Con. That's exactly what it is. And, you know, San Diego Comic-Con is not the only convention. That's just the biggest one. There's other smaller cons you can go to. So that is what a con is. It's short for convention. Next question. Jaden, hi Kat. Do you have any tips on how to publish a comic book in animation? Well, I don't know how to make an animated show. I think you would have to pitch that to hire people or be an animator yourself and post it on YouTube. But to publish a comic book, of course, start out with plotting your idea, writing your script, learning how to write a script to have it in a comic book form, and then find your artists, find your creators, and that's how you start. And then figure out ways to fund, or if you want to pitch it to different indie companies, you gotta have a plan. There's a lot of planning to it, and of course that all starts with having a story, not just a plot, but just writing out a script, which is obviously some of the hardest parts, but that is definitely part of publishing a comic. I see a lot of people ask like, oh, you know, I have an idea, but definitely flesh out that idea, you know, plot out where the comic is going and script your comic, because that's step one of the many steps of publishing a comic. All right, next is Rabbit Ears Blog. Hi, hey, Kat, what is your favorite 90s Nicktoon show? Hey Arnold for sure is my favorite. I think I did a video for favorite Nickelodeon shows. I might have. Kenneth Craley. Kat, did you see the first short for Star Wars Forces of Destiny? It was released on Disney Channel's YouTube channel today. I've not been able to see it, but I saw like things about it on Twitter and Facebook. No thoughts. I just saw it was released. I just thought it. Sorry, I was reading something at the same time. I just thought it was released on TV. Manchu Bandit, will you appear BurrowCon next year? We'll have to see when they have it and all that stuff, but we'll have to see. I'll let you guys know once that gets closer, but I don't think they have any dates or anything yet for next year. So I'm guessing, Manchu, were you at BurrowCon this year? Alex Dunn, do you watch The Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead? I did watch The Walking Dead. I stopped this year, and I feel better about it. I felt like it was a struggle to watch it. In Fear the Walking Dead, I only saw an episode, and that was enough for me. Flash the Shapeshifter, who would you cast for Titans? I think that's a hard question to answer here. I would have to do some research to really get a good answer for that, and know what characters are going to actually appear in Titans too. I think we only have a few of them announced. Alex Dunn, hey, did you read the second issue of Normals? Yes, I did. I might have not had reviews that week, but I did, and I liked it. Robert Ears Blog, what are your tips in getting into Star Wars? That's a good question. I got into Star Wars. I honestly, I feel like you could watch Force Awakens first if you never watched Star Wars. I recommend that. Watch the new movie and then backtrack to the original 3, and then you could watch the prequels if you want. You don't have to. And that's how I think you should get into Star Wars. I would say, you know, stay away from the comics and TV shows just yet until you actually watch the movies, and then go from there. And if you really love Star Wars, then watch, like, you know, all the Star Wars TV shows and read the comics. Jaden, do you have any recommendations of a comic book company in the indie side of comics? What do you mean, like to publish your book? Jaden, what's your process right now? Do you have a script out? I mean, yeah, so let me know. And then I would say if you want to pitch to an indie company, do your research. Like, know, what is Dark Horse releasing? What type of books are they releasing? What's Image releasing? What are their submission guidelines? So a lot of it is just research and figuring out what your story fits. Like if you have, like a Adventure Time book, kind of this cartoony type thing, a good fit would be Boom Studios because a lot of their books are kind of Adventure Time style. So if you have that type comedy book, then pitch to Boom Studios. But again, look at their guidelines. Some of them are not accepting pitches, so that's all part of the research. But yeah, definitely recommend to write your script first and find an artist because a lot of companies will not accept a comic unless you have at least 6 pages drawn and done. Or some companies want a whole issue and they want to know that you have everything. You have your plan is just not. They want to know that it's finished, and where it's going. So, and what they're not purchasing, but what they're getting into. Hopefully that helped. Kenneth, Kat, do you get any making of books for movies and TV shows? I have a lot of making of books in my collection. Not really. I don't think I have that many. So no. Alex Dunn, can you review the latest issues of The Normal? I have a review for the first issue. I will not review the second issue just because I only review comics when it's out that week. And that was just a week I was on hiatus, so I didn't review any comics. I believe that's when it came out. But I will be reviewing it part of the Comic Uno episode, so please watch that show. I know I don't do every individual review on my channel, but I literally review every comic I read on Comic Uno episode. So that's on Comic Frontline. You should definitely go check it out. All right, the Omnitron. The only Star Wars prequels you need are the Star Wars Clone Wars cartoon. MT, hey, I missed the last Q&A. Glad I got here. Well, I'm glad you got here too, MT. Alex, could you ever see yourself writing a novel? Honestly, I'm more of a visual storyteller. I mean, never say never, but I don't see myself at this stage writing a novel. MT, have you ever read Spawn? No, I actually have not, and I'm okay with that. William DiMarco, have you seen the Clone Wars TV show? I have not seen the Clone Wars TV show. The Omnitron, with Marvel Legacy soon to be underway, do you hope most for it? I hope it goes back to basics with Marvel. I think that's what it really needs, and to get us excited about their stories again. Even though there's series I do really like for Marvel, but I think for the overall universe and their overall consequences, I hope we could get excited for again. And T, have you read any early 90s Image stuff? Yes, some here and there. I definitely read more current Image than the 90s Image, but I have definitely issues in my collection because a lot of times they're sold like for $1 somewhere. They're thrown in for something. So I have them in my collection. I've read a few here and there, but not much 90s Image. Flash the Shape Chapter. I've been behind in comics, unfortunately, but I heard Batman's getting married. Do you think it will last? Well, he's engaged, and we don't know what Catwoman said, so we don't know if he's getting married. Being engaged and getting married are two different things. But I mean, I hope it's an interesting story, and I trust Tom King to give us an interesting story. Let's see. Alex Dunn, you should do a website where you search a comic and it would show what comic book episode the issue would be. And because it's hard to find a specific review without an individual review. I have to, well, making a website is definitely a harder, there's a lot of time to put into making a website and making it that intricate. There's actually a lot of coding that goes into all that. So to have every review I've ever done, which is thousands of videos, take a lot of time to archive. Best recommendation, just search the title name of the comic and Comic Uno, and you will find the Comic Uno episode that it's there, because all the comics I review are in the description of every Comic Uno episode. So you can check it out there. All right, so waiting for more questions, guys. We'll see. So yeah, I guess I'll give you guys the, I got more. Hold on. Kenneth, Kat, with Star Wars mostly not showing anything new at San Diego, Comic-Con, do you think the big push for Star Wars will be at D23? Do you think a second trailer of The Last Jedi will be there? 100% yes. I'm 99% sure they're going to show a Last Jedi trailer at D23. And I think Marvel is going to be saving a lot of their announcements for D23. That happened 2 years ago because D23 is every 2 years, not every year. So last year, Marvel released somewhat of news at San Diego because they didn't have D23. The year before, they hardly announced anything, and I don't even think they were there as a movie studio. And they announced a lot at D23. I think that was when they announced their whole lineup of movies coming out. So yes, I think they're going to be saving a lot for D23, including Star Wars. Alex, stunned. How can he not propose to Talia? He's a father. I think his relationship with Catwoman would be a little steadier than his relationship with Talia, even though they had a kid together. Jaden, no, I don't have any scripts, but I want to do a war story. I'm currently coming up with unique characters and it's following magic as well. So I'm taking it step by step in a way. Thanks. And well, I hope everything goes well with your writing. Yeah, just figure out your world and start scripting. That's definitely the first part of publishing a comic before pitching to people. And also publishing as well. Taking steps in that way. Cool. All right, Flash the Shape chapter. Did Gamora's book get canceled? Haven't heard anything since all the new different Marvel. Either it got canceled or was planned as a miniseries. I think that one was actually planned as a miniseries because it definitely had a format of a miniseries. MT said they're just started reading Spawn, and I think you should check it out. Rabbit Ears blog. Have you heard of Robin Williams' version of Fool and the Flying Ship? It's really hilarious and good, although it's not fully animated or well known. I have not heard of that one. MT says, how different do you think comics would be if Comics Code Authority didn't exist? I think it would be very different because I don't know if we would have gotten stories like The Dark Knight Returns and Watchmen post Comic Code Authority. So yeah, I mean, you never know. You can't go back in the past. But I mean, I do think comics would be different today without it. Maybe for the best or maybe for the worst. Alex Dunn says, so Talia is basically his side chick. No, because he's not, in a relationship with her now. They had a relationship. It didn't work. They had a kid. And now he's on to another relationship that we'll see if it works out or not. But it's not like he's seeing Talia now. That's the definition of a side chick. Or like when he breaks up with Catwoman, goes with Talia. None of that's happened. So, it's just a past relationship. They had a kid. That's it. All right, next. Kenneth says, Kat, what are your hopes for Marvel Legacy? I think I answered that, so I'm going to skip that question. Flash the Shape chapter is wrong that I'm still mad at Talia for getting Damian killed. It is pretty bad that happened. Wow, a lot of people are asking, what do I think about Marvel Legacy? And I was extremely wicked. I did answer that. Like I said, extremely wicked stop motions. Yeah, I mean, I hope for the best with it, and I'm looking forward to when the issues end up coming out. And then Alex Dunn says, Marvel versus DC. Question. I mean, I love both Marvel and DC 50-50. I look at a comic for the comic, not for its company. And I mean, I grew up with Marvel though. I definitely was a Marvel fan growing up. Even though my dad read DC comics to get me into books, into comics, but I was a Marvel fan growing up. But now I'm 100% 50-50 with DC and Marvel. I mean, not saying both don't make mistakes. I do think right now the company as a whole, I think DC is doing better with their storytelling, but I still love both companies 50-50. But that always changes. Every year I feel like it changes. Okay, we got Mod King Mope who joins the chat. And then MT just says, Static Shock Season 1 and 2 were released on DVD. Awesome. Siobhan Gar says, do you hope the Ultimate Universe comes back? I do, specifically Ultimates Peter, May, MJ, and Gwen. I think Ultimate Peter's storyline ended well. I don't think I really need to see Ultimate Peter again or MJ. I think both their stories ended up very well. Gwen and May would be nice to see. I don't really feel like their story ended. But Yeah, I mean, I would love to see the Ultimate Universe again. I enjoyed those stories, so, and I think there's more stories to tell there. MT, did you ever read the Storm miniseries by Greg Pak? No, I have not. So keep coming with the questions, guys. We've got about half an hour left, I would say. Oh yeah, I was going to tell you guys what Media Madnesses were going to come up as I waited for your while I waited for your questions. All right, let's see. Let's see what's coming up. So Monday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, we were talking Sailor Moon, so that should be fun. Just talking about the franchise in general. We have super Sailor Moon fan other Robert, who's going to be on there. Maybe one of my friends is going to be on that too, if he's free. Wednesday, we'll be talking about Spider-Man Homecoming. I don't think we have our guests lined up for that yet. And this is all next week. So this is the 10th, Monday, Sailor Moon. Wednesday, the 12th, will be Spider-Man Homecoming. And then Saturday, the 15th, which I still have to finish this show, will be Glow. So that's gonna be fun. We're gonna talk about the new wrestling show on Netflix. All right, let's see. Extremely Wicked stop motions. What is your favorite current comic book? If I had to pick one, probably Paper Girls. Alex Dunn, who has a more realistic feel to the movie field? Marvel versus DC. I guess Marvel, because Marvel's always been the more realistic, grounded universe. Let's see. Jaden, Kat, do you think Venom and Kraven can work in their own standalone movies in the hands of Sony? Not really. I mean, I'll go see both of them. Kraven even less. Maybe Venom has a chance, but I don't know what Sony's doing. MT, what kind of Gwen Stacy would you like to see in the MCU? I like to see the punk version for Ultimate Universe. I'd like to see the Spider-Gwen version. I know that wouldn't happen, but that's what I would like to see. Alex Dunn, do you believe in quality over or quantity? Quality, of course. Kenneth Crayley, Kat, what's been going on with the recent story arcs with Superman Action Comics? Have liked them, but not loved them. Yeah, I haven't really liked either series in recent weeks. MT, are you guys all still doing Frontline Live tomorrow since it's 4th of July? We will not be doing Frontline Live tomorrow, but we will be back the week after with our regular schedule for Frontline Live. Jaden, oh, have you seen Yuri on Ice? If so, what are your thoughts? I mean, I definitely heard of it. I have not seen it, though. Flash the Shape Chapter. My biggest problem with the new show so far is young Peter's haircut. It's awful. Oh, you're talking about the new Spidey show. I can't say anything until I see the show. I think it's going to be premiering at San Diego. I'm going to try to go to that panel so I could get a review up for you guys. So that's part of the plan. You know, with San Diego, you have plans. Sometimes you don't always get to go to the panels you want. So I'll have to see. But I do want to try to go to that Spider-Man panel. Moncho Bandit says, how do you deal with the excessive hero worship, or in the case, company worship? I have a friend who is a big fan of DC and disregards anything to do with Marvel. It almost seems like a blind hatred. Yeah, you know, it's a part of the fandom, sadly. But I always feel like you should be open to both companies and just open to stories in general and not hate on anything. You could definitely not like a comic, but it's weird not to like anything from a company. Alex Dunn, I hate Sony. I wish they would just stick to PlayStation. Alex Dunn, are you a full-time YouTuber? I wouldn't call myself a full-time YouTuber because I just do a lot of different projects. So with YouTube, I also do journalism and write my own comic book. So I wouldn't call myself a full-time YouTuber, but I am a YouTuber. All right. MT, do you think Chris and Brandt will pop up on your live stream like they did with Jay? I don't think so. Comic Frontline's a little easier to jump on with them, but you never know with Chris and Brandt. If I did want a Frontline, I definitely could see that. Flash the Shapeshifter. My impossible dream for the MCU's to see Mayday and the Young Avengers. Yeah, I mean, I would love that, of course. Moncho Bandit. Also, yes, I was at BurrowCon. I wish I had cash that day to buy one of your comics. Well, hopefully one day you'll be able to check it out, Moncho. Alex Dunn, what happened to Mother Versus? Well, I used to work on that with my brother, and he has a full-time job now, so he is not able to do Mother Versus with me. But those episodes were kind of, you know, somewhat of a wrap-up of our show. We didn't really end it when we were doing it on the Random Situation, so we wanted to have, you know, a good amount of episodes on my channel. We had so much fun on it, and hopefully you guys did too. You never know. We never say never of giving up on Mother Versus, but as of right now, we don't have any future plans for the series. Kenneth, Kat, which DC Rebirth characters do you hope get their own solo series next? Mine would be Black Canary, Martian Manhunter, Catwoman, and maybe Plastic Man. I would like to see Shazam, Captain Marvel, get his own series, or the Captain Marvel family, really. MT says, do you know Men in Black was a comic book before it was a movie? I did hear about that. MT also says, have you ever read any Jack Kirby comics? I don't know if I have, actually. I don't know if I probably have, honestly. Yeah, I've probably read Jack Kirby books, and I'll say yes. Rob Wise Guy. Hey, Kat, first off, I'm patiently waiting for my copies of Like Father, Like Daughter so I can get caught up. Also, you can do collect regular or variant covers of books that you don't read if it's your favorite artist. Good question. Yes, issue 4 hopefully will be coming soon, especially for Kickstarter backers for Like Father, Like Daughter. We're literally just the finishing product right now. It's just like mixing in letters and all that. We're really trying to make it perfect for you guys. So that should be coming soon. It'll be for Kickstarter backers. Thank you for the support. Really appreciate it, and would love to hear your thoughts on the book when you do receive it. Your other question. I rarely get variant covers and not read the comic. I actually just recently did, though, for the Mary Jane covers. I got a couple of just Mary Jane covers. But like I said, it's kind of a rarity where I do that, unless it's like a favorite character. And honestly, it would only be like Spider-Girl, you know, Kitty would be some exceptions. So yeah, there's exceptions to the rule, but I usually don't go out of my way just to get the variant cover. But I do like getting variants, but not if their prices are jacked up either. All right. Let's see. Rob Wise Guy, who is your favorite artist? I'm pretty sure mine is David Mack. Mine's Francis Manipool. That's my favorite artist. Alex Dunn, I loved Mother Versus. I miss it so much. Well, thank you, Alex. If you haven't seen the Random Situations, we have like 50 episodes there. So if you've only seen, let me know. Have you seen the Random Situation ones too, or have you just seen the ones on my channel? But thank you. We really appreciate it. We worked really hard on it. We tried to make it funny. And I'm glad someone appreciated it. Extremely Wicked Stop Motions. What is a good recommendation for a very fun and enjoyable comic with good storylines? So what are you looking for? You're looking for like a comedy book? 'Cause I feel like those are kind of vague descriptions. Fun and enjoyable. I mean, there's definitely some good books, but it depends on your personal enjoyment. So what type of book are you really looking for? MT, think we'll ever see Jack Kirby's Eternals in the MCU? Again, never say never, especially with Jack Kirby's work. Kenneth Crayley, Kat, what has been going on with Justice League Action as Cartoon Network canceled it? I don't know. I only really watched the first 2 episodes of that show and kind of stopped, so I haven't really been keeping up with it. And I haven't heard it being canceled or not canceled, so. Jaden, have you read IDW's Transformers? No, it's a little bit, Transformers was a bit before my time and never got into the franchise. MT, Rob Liefeld wants to draw your comic. What do you say to him? I say that's okay. Rob, that's really exciting. Flash to Shape chapter. Since you're the biggest Supergirl fan I know, I'll ask you, is Supergirl Rebirth that bad? Yes, it is. Read Supergirl being super. Do yourself a favor for that. But yeah, Supergirl Rebirth is not worth your time right now. Rob Wise Guy, that's right. I've heard you say that. Awesome choice. Cool. So yeah, keep coming with the questions, guys, as we go along. I told you the Media Madness schedule. I told you about Frontline Live, so we won't have that this week. Comic reviews will be normal schedule, though. I'm starting to get prepared for San Diego now because It's 2 more weeks. They released the panel schedule, I believe, this week. So exciting stuff for that. Start planning some, press room stuff. So hopefully I get some good coverage for you guys this year. And of course, if you follow me on Twitter, I'll be tweeting away about stuff too. It's always the last 2 weeks where you start planning for San Diego. What do you guys want to see at San Diego? Rob says, hey, MT, some people are saying we may get a glimpse of the Eternals in Thor Ragnarok. That'd be cool. Or have gotten a glimpse in the trailer. Flash to Shapeshifter. If you were hired by Marvel or DC to write 3 books of your choice, what would you write? DC, Stephanie Brown. I would really like to write a Carol Ferris book. And Batgirl, Barbara Gordon. For Marvel, Spider-Girl, no, Spider-Girl, Kitty Pryde, of course, and Young Avengers. All right, Jaden says, do you think the New Gods should have a rebirth? I don't know much about the New Gods, so I don't have an opinion on that. MT, what do you think Tevye will come by and ask about Hanslot and Spider-Man? Well, Tevye, hopefully you get to see this after post-show if you're not seeing it right now. Scott Pilgrim, do you think Spider-Man Homecoming will be better than Spider-Man 2? See, that's the question. Spider-Man 2 is actually my favorite comic book movie of all time. So if it is, that's going to be pretty big. I mean, Spider-Man 2 also has a nostalgia factor for me, though. Kenneth, Kat, how often do you buy action figures and collectibles for comics or other stuff you enjoy? I'm not like a huge collector, but when I go to Comic Cons, I try to get some good exclusives. I'll get Funkos here and there. Action figures a little less. So usually the statues, the Funko stuff. It's usually what I end up getting. Action figures only if I extremely like a character. MT says, isn't Tom King writing a New Gods comic? Yeah, I guess so, because he's writing a Mr. Miracle comic, so that's going to be related. I actually will probably pick it up, only because it's Tom King. I don't know if I'll stick with it, because, again, not a huge fan of the New Gods, but it's Tom King. Maybe he'll get me interested in them. Rabbit blog, do you think Doc's movie are getting better? Docs? Which docs? I'm probably being stupid right now, but docs. Yeah, let me know what DC's movies. Okay. I'm guessing you mean DC's movies. I mean, you can't say with just one movie being released, which was Wonder Woman, but I mean, hopefully it's gives us a good path with DC. But Justice League has already been made, so I don't know if that's really going to change anything, but hopefully after that, we'll get a good domino effect for DC. Okay. Yeah, DC. That's what I thought. I was like, documentaries? All right, so keep coming with the questions, you guys. In the comments. Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, I'll have comic reviews this week. It's not a huge week. I should have my Newsarama reviews. I'm going to have one Wednesday for Hawkeye. Got Snot Girl and Motor Girl coming up for Thursday, so look forward to that. Excited to read all those books. Gonna miss Frontline Live this week, though. Like I said, we'll be back next week. Hopefully you guys watch that. And again, those 3 Media Madnesses that I plugged. All right. Next question. Jaden, what Marvel characters would you like to see in the MCU? Spider-Gwen. I think I mentioned that one. Flash the Shapeshifter. If Peter retired and Miles took over, would you be okay with that? Not really. I don't want to see Peter retire. I mean, he's one of my favorite characters. Extremely Wicked stop motion. Tom King's Batman or Scott Snyder's? Tom King for me, actually. Kenneth Crayley. Kat, have you read the Back to the Future comic series from IDW? I like Back to the Future, but not enough to invest a comic book into it, so I did not read it. I heard it wasn't that great either. MT, do you have an Xbox One? I do. Scott Pilgrim, do you think the JL movie will be received better critically overall than the Avengers? I can't say any. I don't think so personally, but never say never, I guess. Scott Pilgrim, do you prefer teenage Spider-Man or adult Spider-Man? Probably adult Spider-Man. MT, have you ever heard about Frederick Wortham? No, I have not. All right, so keep coming with questions, guys. And we will continue. Let's see. Questions. Yeah, hopefully August next year, next month, I'll be able to do it more towards the middle of the month because I like doing it in the beginning of the month. But like I said, it was just because I had such a busy July. That's why I was like, I have to do this in the beginning of the month. That way I know I'll have a monthly Q&A this month. All right, let's see. Kenneth, Kat, what is your opinion of the drama going on with Han Solo film changing directors? I honestly don't have a huge opinion. I just like kind of wait and see type thing. Hopefully it's a good movie. Scott Pilgrim, are there any PS4 games that you are looking forward to? Mine is Spider-Man PS4. I don't have a PS4, so I can't look forward to any of their games. But I guess if I did have one, I would say Spider-Man. MT, he's the guy who wrote a book condemning comics as harmful to children. Oh, I now I know what you're talking about. Yeah. What are my thoughts on him? Oh no, just if I heard about him. Yeah, no, I heard that. I think I heard in the Comic Code Authority. He was like one of the people that really brought that to light and brought the Comic Book Authority to comics. I believe that's the same person. MT, remember back in the 90s when parents thought Pokemon was demotic? My parents never thought Pokemon was demotic. They just always said Pokemon or Pokemon. That's what they usually said. Other than that, that's my only memory of my parents talking about Pokemon. All right, next is Flash the Shapeshifter. Aquaman and Mara's new customers for the Aquaman movie make me want to see Black Manta even more. And I'm not even an Aquaman fan. Or new costumes. Okay. Yeah, I'm excited for Aquaman, actually. And I'm not a big Aquaman fan either. Kenneth, Kat, do you miss the letters pages in modern comics these days? A lot of modern comics have it, so there's nothing to miss. They're there. All right, I guess we're winding down, so this will be, just because I see less people coming in, so this will be the last round of questions, and I'm going to start wrapping it up. So let's see, let's get those last round of questions. Again, just wrapping up this for this week. Regular comic reviews. I will be at Garden State Comic Con. I'll make a video about it too. So I'll be, if you live in the New Jersey area, I'll be selling like Father Like Daughter issues 1 through 3. Hopefully, get to purchase it and read it if you haven't. Really excited for stuff coming up for that book. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this week. And of course, reviews and all that is the same. Yeah, and I'm not reviewing really any TV shows because Teen Wolf is not on right now. And then I reviewed The Loud House, but that will be, I think new episodes will be the week after San Diego, which is great. I think it was originally going to be the week of San Diego, which would have been really hard to review those. So I'm glad it's going to be the week after. So I get to review those episodes. All right, so we're going to go to the last bit of questions here. Rob Wise Guy, I think you should check out a comic called A.B. Arado from Lions Forge. And if you happen to get it, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Awesome. I'll definitely write that down. I haven't read anything from Lions Forge. MT, oh, that's okay, Rob. If it's still a good comment, because he said that wasn't a question, but it was a good comment. Anyways, MT, if you could cast Miles Morales in the MCU, who would you choose? I don't know. See, that's another question I would have to do research on and figure out my answer more than a quick to the head type question. Jaden, do you think the X-Men Phoenix Saga will do well in other hands than Bryan Singer and stay faithful to the source material? Yeah, I mean, probably would get a different vision if it wasn't Bryan Singer, but I don't know. I mean, I hope for the best with it, but we haven't gotten a good X-Men movie, just X-Men the team, obviously not counting Logan, in a while. Flash says, Flash the Shapeshifter, Mayday Parker, film animated or live action? See, I would rather see a TV show, and I would like it to be live action. Kenneth, Kat, do you or anything really? Kat, do you plan on attending all the panels at you can't San Diego Comic Con? You one thing, Kenneth, you would never be able to attend every single panel. There's hundreds of panels going on, but I mean, I hope I get to see the panels that I want to see, you know. But yeah, you definitely cannot see every single panel at San Diego. There's some lines you have to like sleep overnight just to go see the panel. Like NT, think we all will get a Static Shock or any Milestone Universe comics anytime soon? I think it depends on the success of the Black Lightning television show. All right, so that looks like all the questions. So thank you guys for joining me. Sorry for the shorter Q&A, but thank you guys. This was Comic Uno. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, description below, there are links for my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter. I'll see you guys later. Bye.